Please welcome to the stage, creative producer and host at Vivo, Kim Taylor-Bennett.
Hello. Hi. Hi, guys. Thanks so much for joining me at the Doers Defying Barriers with Hayley Kiyoko at the Samsung 837 store. I first interviewed Hayley way back in 2015, and then interviewed her again in front of an audience at the Samsung space the following year. And I'm very, very excited to introduce her to the stage. Her album's coming out tomorrow. So we're going to have a little chat and then a little Q&A. Now we just need to find her, right? There she is.
Hello.
Hi. Hi, guys.
My album comes out in 4 hours. Sorry, I'm taking over, Kim.
No, that's good. That's what you're here to do. How excited are you?
So these are nice chairs. So excited. It's so nice to be able to share this moment with you guys. Yay.
So I'm going to ask you some questions for the next 20 minutes.
Okay, fine.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
So listen, you have such a stacked talent arsenal, you know, singer, director, dancer, advocate. How do you balance all this stuff and stay sane?
Am I sane?
I don't know, actually.
We don't know yet. Well, thank you. When you love what you do, you just do it. And this is all new for me. I mean, I think most of you guys know, like, I've started from the bottom and slowly risen. So it's been like, okay, I'm doing this, and now I'm doing a little bit more, and now I'm doing more. And I mean, I just did a radio tour for the first time for a week and a half, and we went to 3 cities every day, and I was in the airport every day. And like, this is all like new stuff for me. So I'm navigating it as best as I can, and as long as I have a meal, I'm happy. And
yeah, we don't want you to be hangry.
Yeah, don't want to be hangry. But it's been good. I mean, it's a lot, but it's worth it, and it's exciting. And I'm trying to pace myself and, like, even though my whole life is about me, like, take time to myself and be like, okay, I'm just going to sit in a box for like 4 hours. I'll normally sit in my car, like, in the darkness at night when I get home.
Really?
Well, you don't do that. You're in New York. But it's my favorite. Maybe it's a California thing, or maybe I'm, like, weird. But I'll get home and I'll just sit in my car and it'll be silence, and I'll just, like, pick my nose. I don't know.
That's your meditative space.
Yeah, it's like my meditation.
Great. You are so honest with your fans and in your music, and you've become such a incredible force in the LGBTQ community. Lesbian Jesus, I believe is what they call you. Lesbian Jesus. Hey, Jesus. But I imagine you weren't always so comfortable and confident in that sphere. Like, what was the turning point for you to be able to be that honest both in your music and with your fans?
On a personal level, it took me to be in a serious relationship to be really comfortable, like, in public. Mm-hmm. And then, in the industry, Girls Like Girls was a turning point where I released this video. I didn't put myself in the video. I wanted to really focus on the story and the topic and the conversation. And then after that, I was like, oh, I'm not being judged. Like, this is cool. And then I released another music video, and I'm, like, making out with a girl. And then I released it, and I wasn't judged. And I was like, okay, I'll do that again. And share more and more of my life. So it's really been a gradual thing where I release a music video and I push the boundaries a little bit more and I push the boundaries a little bit more, and then every time I start to love myself even more and feel really comfortable with who I am.
And how does it, Instagram and social media is such a great way for you to communicate with your fans and to hear their stories. And I mean, what is that like for you to have that kind of dialogue so directly with your fans?
It's beautiful. Like, I mean, I see everything. I go through the comments and I read everything, and it's really wonderful to feel, I always explain it like, it's like, we can feel so alone sometimes, and there's some negatives of the internet, but the positives of the internet is really being able to find, I mean, look at everyone in this room, like we all found each other through that connection, and we all have this common interest of human compassion and love for one another, which is something that we all share and connect.
And have you ever felt your voice silenced or been asked to be someone that you're not, and how did you deal with that?
I think in the beginning of my career, when I was in like a girl group, in the beginning before I got into my solo music, if we're going to be really honest, I felt very uncomfortable because I felt like I had to sell sex, and like, even though we were very young, but I felt like I had to be very feminine, and I had to like attract men to be successful in the music industry. And that was really hard for me because that wasn't an interest of mine, and two, it's just something that wasn't comfortable with who I was. And so that was a battle. And then when I got out of that and finally was able to focus on my solo music, which is what I've always wanted to do, I realized, the confidence is within, and, I could wear a t-shirt and pants and look like a boy, but still look like a girl and feel confident and love myself as long as it came within. And that takes time, that just takes maturity and time.
So this whole event is called Doers Defying Barriers. So I wanted to hear a little bit about some obstacles that you've maybe faced in your life that you've overcome.
There's a lot.
Yeah. Let's get into it.
I feel like all of us have those obstacles. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, like what kind of obstacles?
Well, I don't know. You got to pull from your personal life.
I mean, I've dealt with, on a personal level, I've dealt with, loving myself, confidence issues. I've dealt with health issues. I can start with a confidence thing. I mean, in middle school and high school, like, I never hung out at the promenade with the cute girls because I felt uncomfortable because the girls wanted to hang out with the guys, but I was there for the girls, and, it was this, like, whole thing, ripple effect, and it always made me feel depressed when I would go to these promenades or go do what all the other straight girls would do. It just made me feel sad. So I would stay at home and watch movies with my mom, which was great. She's great company. And so that was kind of me growing up. I knew who I was, but it was hard because I didn't know anyone like me. And if I did, they were ridiculed or judged. So that was hard. And then I've dealt with a lot of health issues. I actually wrote about it on my album, but I had a concussion 2 years ago. It's going to be like my anniversary in like 2 days on my birthday. And it messed me up. Like, I still go to the doctor. I'm still on medication. I became extremely depressed. The last time I did this event at Samsung, I was going through it, and I don't even remember it. Like, I literally was just so, I couldn't understand what people were saying, and I was going through my release of Citrine. So that was really hard because I had to learn how to function without being able to use my brain in my head, and I think that that's my biggest talent, is being able to think and create, and to have something that you love so much to be, it makes me upset, but to have something that you love be taken away from you is really hard, and so it's fine. I get emotional. I cry all the time. This is normal. So that happened when I was 25. So I would say that was like a big like life-altering situation.
Can I just say, like, having interacted with you during that period, I mean, you really, I would never have guessed. You just held it together like a damn pro.
Thank you. I was crying in between,
yeah.
but, you know, kept it strong. So yeah, so I have this song on my album that you'll hear. It's called Mercy/Gatekeeper. And I didn't really want to have a depressing album, so I just dedicated one song to it. And it's this 5-minute journey of dealing with depression and feeling helpless and hopeless and not being able to see the light, not knowing where you're going or headed. And then by the end of the song, you're seeing the light. And even though you haven't kind of overcome this depression, you're at least moving forward as opposed to standing still. And I think that's the most important thing when you're going through any hardship, is to just continue to move forward and not give up, even if you don't even know what you're fighting for. So, you know, that song's really important to me.
I'd love to hear maybe another story about one of the songs on the record, like something that's personal to you. I mean, all the songs are obviously personal to you, but, you know, I feel like...
I'd love to talk about all of them. It's so much fun. It's like, I love all of them.
Well, the great thing about your lyrics is they are very true to life. You know, you don't really hide behind a lot of metaphors. It's just very like, this is my heart. This is what's going on. So, let's go there.
I mean, yeah, we talk about a couple of them. There's a track called Molecules, which is more on the sadder side, and it's dealing with trying to cope with loss. I lost a lot of people in my life, and one of my friends tragically lost her brother, and it didn't make any sense. And so that song is really dedicated to losing someone and not understanding how or why. And I feel like all of us can relate to that and can connect to that. And I felt like that was a really important song to write about. And she had said something at his memorial where she said, you know, you're not gone. It's just that your molecules have rearranged. And I was like, wow, that's beautiful. And so I was like, I need to write a song about this and dedicate it to him. So that song's really powerful to me and really personal. I have, on the more fun side, He'll Never Love You.
Wonder what that's about. Hayley.
You know, it's a metaphor. It's a really deep, deep metaphor.
I think that's just a statement, actually. But I mean, I'm a writer, so I'm just gonna. Okay.
That's a really fun song. I've been wanting to write that song for like my whole life, but I haven't been able to put it into words, you know, and really articulate it properly. And so it's one of my favorite songs on a personal level because it's something that I feel like most girls that like girls go through. And it's a song when I listen to it in the car, I'm just like, yes, and then that happened, and then that happened, and then like, it's just like, it like fuels me in like a really aggressive but like good way. But yeah, that was a song about this girl that loved me and is definitely gay and couldn't come out to herself, but would still like hit me up. And she was singing, I feel like I'm on like Dr. Phil. Oh, boo. And so, yeah, so that was a situation. It was a situation. So.
Has she heard any of these songs that you've written about her?
I really hope she hears it because, you know, I call her out. Like, literally every single lyric is like, this happened, and this happened, and this. Like, if she listens, she'll be like, ooh. She won't listen to it.
She will.
She's so
she
immature.
She will, Hayley. Of course she will.
Okay, maybe she will. I don't know.
What would you say is the most rewarding part of being Hayley Kiyoko and like creating the stuff that you create?
I mean, I think, touring is not the touring part, but like the energy within touring, the audience, meeting everyone on a personal level, because you're working and you're talking to people, but it's still like the interweb, so it's nice to like directly look in someone's eye and get to connect and be like hello and share that experience with them. Because I mean, I remember a lot of moments in my life that I connected with someone and they looked me in the eye, and like that's really important. So I really enjoy touring. I'm excited to do it again, and I think that's the most rewarding thing. I think also the most rewarding thing is working really, I have to say it, fucking hard, and getting there. I'm not there yet, but like I'm gonna get there. And so like, you work hard on an essay, or you work hard at an internship, and then you were rewarded, or you're at least validated, and like that feels great. And I'm not there yet, but like it's right there. It's right there. So it feels good to work hard.
What do you have in the future? Like what do you want to achieve in the future? What have you got your eyes set on?
Like just in like career-wise?
Career-wise, life-wise, all the wises.
I want to find me a wife.
Yes.
Not right now, I'm too young. But I want to find me a nice wife that treats me right, smells good, Again, something that I've really valued is health and family and friends. And, it's really important. I'm sorry, I'm crying. This is such a monumental night. It's like so beautiful. It's so nice. Please, is it on my... Jesus, Lord. Like, literally, like 80 feet tall.
I didn't
see my pores.
I didn't know that was happening back there. That's terrifying. Me neither.
Cut. No, but I mean, it's like, it's really important to take the time to appreciate the people in your life. And so that's like a big part of my life. And, I want to achieve things, but I also want to be happy doing them. So I am happy. Like, I'm really excited to share this album and really go for it, and we'll see where that lands. We'll see how this does. It's like, you only can do your best, and then you see what happens. So we'll see what happens.
One of the things that round of applause. Your fans are so supportive of you, and one of the things that I talk to a lot with female artists who I interview is just like having a support network and having people who you can turn to who also champion you. And I was wondering who in your life has been a champion for you.
I mean, again, like my family, like my sister's probably the one that's just always like, what's going on with you? Like, how's everything? And why haven't you called me? And like, she's on it. My brother just could care less. But, the younger brothers, they love you though. My sister really got me through a lot of the hard times, and, not to be cheesy, but my manager, Fab, and Marla.
Shouts out.
Marla's my work wife, and they've really got me through all of the highs and lows. It's hard to make an album. I can't believe all these musicians just make albums. It's like, it's hard. Like, you write the music and then you're like, great. That's not how it is. It's like you write the album and then it's like, great, like, what's your album cover, and what's the vinyls look like, and what the records look like, and what's the merch look like, and it's literally like a school project on crack that never ends, and then you like turn it in like 3 years later. Like, you know, it's like, it's insane, and I think people, now that I've gone through it, I really respect and appreciate. You know, even if you don't like an album, someone put a lot of hard work into that, you know, like, it's a lot.
And especially for you, because you do take so much care with the videos, directing, and the art, and there's like no detail that you are not on. You know, not all artists do that, so. Yeah.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I did 4 photo shoots to get that damn album cover. But it's so cute, isn't it? I love it. See, it was worth it. It was worth the tears and the sweat and, you know. Oh, yeah, hot damn. Look at that.
It's so hot.
Look at that. Fresh. You know, but I did 4 photo shoots to get that one image. Huh?
Did you concept that?
Yeah, Fab, Marla, and I did, and we, you know, we found this amazing location, and, you know, I'm all about colors, so I need the colors to be right. And I didn't really know how to put myself in who am I in an image? That's like someone asking you, like, tell me one adjective about yourself.
Goofy.
Oh, you know. See, you know yourself. I apparently don't know myself. So it was a really hard image to figure out, because I wanted to, like, idolize and appreciate women. I also wanted to show strength in that, and it's like, it's objectifying, but, you know, I'm also, you know, I don't know, it's like a dual situation going on. I love it.
It's very hot. I love it too. So before we open it up for the Q&A, I have 2 questions that have come through Twitter.
Okay.
Number 1 is, what's your favorite song on the record?
Well, we went over probably a couple of my favorite songs.
Mine is Curious.
It is.
I can't do the dance moves at all, but, you know, I try.
The Kehlani record's really fire. We wrote that song in 4 hours. Like, I'm not joking. It was like, hey, nice to meet you. Let's do this. And, well, what happened was she commented on my Instagram, marry me, in all caps. And I went, slide in the DMs, slide in the DMs. And that's how our friendship started. And, yeah, well, you know, she doesn't return my phone calls, so. I'm just kidding. She texts us back. But yeah, so that's a really fun song. I love everything. I love Let It Be. Have you guys heard that song? Like, it's like punching me in the heart every time I hear it. I'm like, I believe.
Okay, the other Twitter question is,
Yeah.
Who is your celebrity crush? Oh, shoot. Do they know?
What?
Just all shouting an answer. Who is it?
I change my celebrity crush like every week. It depends on my mood, really. I'm really upset because Alicia Vikander just got married, but whatever. She's my celebrity crush. I love women, so I love everyone. Ashley Graham is like, she cannot take a bad picture. You know, they have that Instagram where they make celebrities look bad. Well, they like do zoom-ins on their face. She looks perfect. It's annoying.
Okay, so we have a little bit of time before the performance for questions. Who has a question? Raise your hand. Front. There's a mic coming for you.
Hi.
Hi.
I love you. Okay. I just have to say
What's
that.
your name?
Haylin.
Haylin. Nice to
Yeah.
meet you.
Okay. If you could get any song lyric from Expectations, like on you, where would you get it and why?
That's a great question. I feel like that's like a question I have to like deeply, like a tattoo is like for life.
Take your time.
But I'll tell you one of my favorite lyrics is "So thirsty you're drowning in it."
I wonder what that means.
That's from "He'll Never Love You," obviously.
Oh, that's a great lyric.
I love that lyric. It's so sassy, so petty.
All right, another question?
Hey, girl.
Hey, girl.
All right, so, like, this is a serious question, but, did you take him to the pier in Santa Monica and forget to bring your jacket wrap up in him because you wanted to?
That was good.
I know, I thought it was
so smart.
I know.
I loved it. I love that. I mean,
Practice
yes.
that for months.
Huh?
We had to practice
It was
that
really
line for, like,
good.
a long-
How long it took for us to
Should
get
we
that
do it
line
together?
down?
5,
Yes,
6,
six.
7.
Did you take him to the pier in Santa Monica, forget to bring your jacket, rub up in him because you wanted to? Just curious.
Cute. Another one?
Hello. My name's Destiny. I really love you, by the way. So coming out is obviously hard for a lot of people. What is some advice that you could give everybody else?
That's a great question. That's really hard. I think the advice that I would give is if you don't get a good reaction, don't feel like the world is going to end, because it's not. You're not alone, and there's room for growth in everyone. And so, you know, like it's a good, I mean, my mom, for example, I mean, she didn't react the best. And, you know, 2 months ago, I mean, I was figuring out this music video, and I was like, Mom, you like helped me with a cute lesbian story. That's so sweet. And she was like, no, honey, it's just a love story between two people. And I was like, she's growing. She gets it. So if people don't get it, it's, you know, that's their personal struggle that they have to go through. But just know that you are worth everything. And if they do accept you eventually, you know, amazing. And if for some reason they don't, you have all these people who accept you. And you're not alone. And just, it's hard to not feel like that, but that would probably be my advice.
That's some good advice. That made me a bit teary. Right over there.
Hey, yo, okay, so like, being a creative person can be like really fucking hard. So I'm like really wondering, like, how do you refresh from it? Like, how do you get away from having it take even the tiniest, secretest parts of you and like kind of refilling the well, you know?
That's a great question. I feel like everyone has their own thing that refuels them. I really love nature. So, you know, I'm lucky enough that I live by the water, by the ocean, and so I love to go to the beach and just zone out. I also love to sit by myself and watch other people interact. I love watching strangers. Like, there's something really beautiful about that. If you see a kid running and chasing a bird, or just all these things, because it takes you out of your selfishness and ego, and you're able to just take in the simplicities in life. And I feel like that's really inspiring. Like, sometimes the most amazing art is so simple. And so I find a lot of inspiration just by watching other people. And then also, you know, if I can be under the redwoods, then I would. But, you know, you can't always do that. So.
Okay, we have time for one more.
Yeah, do you? Okay, great.
Hi. One, I love you, obviously. Two, on a much more less serious note, what was your first reaction when you were dubbed Lesbian Jesus?
Big question.
It's funny. I feel like there wasn't really a dubbed moment, like, and now we present. But I think when I saw it on Urban Dictionary, I was like, this is getting out of hand. I really appreciate all of the Photoshop photos of my face on Jesus, passing out my album. It's so real. It's just, it's funny. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I'm not in the know of, like, the cute words of you young people, like shook and bop. And so, to be honest, I thought all of you guys were calling people lesbian Jesus. So I thought it was like a thing, like, oh, like lesbian Jesus. I was like, oh, funny, cute. And then I realized it was only happening to me. And I was like, oh. And it just, it's wild. It's become a wild thing. It's the highest honor. I'm very humbled by it. And, it's nice to have a nickname. I didn't have a nickname growing up in high school. What are they going to call me? Hales? So, Hales, Pales, like, ugh, no, thank you. So I'll take it. I'll take Lesbian Jesus. Thank you.
Wow, Lesbian Jesus, Hayley Kiyoko, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Now you're going to play. That's it. Yeah. You're going to play
I've got, like,
some songs.
tissues in my hands. And are you guys all going to buy my album, though, tonight? Okay, good. Because I'm trying to, like, break records here, okay? I'm trying to have people be like, Hayley's fans are crazy. Like, what's happening? Like, what's going on? It's 2018.
Good plug, good plug.
I'm going to play you some songs off the record. And I'll leave you with that.